Hello, 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 and welcome to the Herpreneur Her Talk Show. Happy Monday. I am Torri Hammond, your talk show host, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys for another episode of an amazing interview of one of my Herpreneur sisters. I'm excited, guys, for who I am interviewing on tonight. But before we get to that, let's chat for a second. Let's talk about all things Herpreneur. So the Herpreneur Network was founded by our amazing servant leader, Dr. Nikki Ziegler. She is amazing, guys. She is a provoker. Listen, she comes unapologetically, and we love that about her. And the Herpreneur Network is an international network of Christian women in business and in ministry. And we believe in fixing crowns and maintaining them. Listen, we also believe that competition, collaboration trumps competition. And that's what I love about this network. We collaborate together, we create, and we celebrate, guys. And so I am Torri Hammond, the CEO of Sassy Hair Care Products, the owner of Bold and Sassy Hair Designs, the author of the book Go and Grow. I am a certified business coach as well as an elite ambassador in the network. I am the regional director for the West Coast and your Her Talk show host. And so I'm excited to be here with you guys on tonight. Just a few announcements before we get into the interview. The Herpreneurs are going to the beautiful Destin, Florida. We are looking forward to 5 days and 4 nights in the beautiful Destin, Florida. Listen, we are ready to have a good girlfriend time in Destin, and you still have just a little bit of time to get in if you would like to meet us on Miracle Boulevard. Listen, for all things her as it goes down in Destin, Florida. And so we're so excited about that. Also, the Herpreneur Network is all about visibility. And we have lots of opportunities for you guys to be visible as we move through the network. There is going to be lots of virtual events as well as in-person events where we are looking and seeking for speakers. And so we have the Business Bootcamp that is getting ready to come out. It is an online event, and we are looking for speakers for that. And excited about just moving, and doing things that connect entrepreneurs to growth and togetherness. And so I am here in the hot Texas. Where are you watching from? Listen, chime in, pop it in the comments. Let me know where you are watching from. Are my Herpreneur sisters in the building? Looking forward to seeing you guys communicate with us as we get into this amazing interview. And so without further ado, I want to introduce to you guys my ambassador sister, Michelle Martin Bronner. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Torri. How are you?
Welcome. I'm good. I'm doing okay. I am. Listen, you looking all flying, all kind of good stuff. And so thank you so much for joining me on tonight. I'm excited to get into this interview.
Do I need to be worried?
No. We're going to have a good time. I believe we are. And I think tonight's going to be very impactful because I love it when you speak and I love it when you pour. And I think you have a lot that people can benefit from hearing on tonight. So I'm excited. I got some good questions.
Okay.
To get into it. So before we get into the questions, tell us who you are and tell us what you do and how you serve.
Well, so I really am a servant leader. I have been serving, and I thought about this. I found a T-shirt, and it had something from high school on it. And I was the vice president of something called the OABC, which was an organization for particularly girls of color in this all-girl high school. And I said to myself, you know what? You've been leading since you were a little girl and since you were in high school. And so it really is purpose that I'm operating and serving in. And so I am the owner of AIM Empowerment, and I am a public speaker, strategist, author, and leadership coach. And I said, wow, you know what? That really resonated with me because I really hadn't thought about it that way. And when I looked at that t-shirt, I said, look at God. You really have been doing this. And so now in your business, AIM Empowerment, you really are operating in your purpose. And so don't question that. And so I actually started my business in 2006. Mm-hmm. And it is 2023. And this is when I'm really operating in my business and not treating it like a hobby.
That's good.
So yeah, so that's really, and I serve. I am a minister. I've been a minister in my church for I don't even remember how many years. Wow. And I love God, but I also am an administrator in my church, which also lent itself to the business that I'm in, which is I love order. I love to do things decent and in order. And that has always been a part of my makeup. And I couldn't figure out, I was like, man, how do I use my gifts and talents? And that's how I do it. So AIM Empowerment is my business. And I love what I do. I love helping others develop their skill sets in leadership, even in business, because my background is in business and administration and human resources and diversity and inclusion. I mean, negotiating. I mean, I was just like, okay, you need to take all of that because God has blessed you, right? Because God gives us everything we need in order to do your business.
That's good. That's good. So you do a lot. You do a lot. And do you work? And are you still in the working field? Like, do you still work a regular job?
Okay. I do. I do.
Right. Want to tell us a little bit about that?
So I do. And so my day job, I work for one of the most world-renowned gardens. And it is one of the largest in the world. And we have 7 million specimens in our herbarium. And so that means that for any plant, tree on the planet, if someone wanted to replant that, and because of the way that our ecosystem is right now and with climate changes and things like that, we're helping preserve and conserve life, because without plant life, you don't have oxygen, so you don't have life. And so it's really important that we do that. So I do that. I do work on a daily basis, and I help.
Did you know that I was a plant mom? You know that I love plants. Oh my God. Okay. Listen, my questions are shifting. I did not know that. This is why I love this, guys. Listen, this is why I get to know my sisters in ways that I just never thought. You know, like, this gives us an opportunity, right? To get to know one another, see what we do and how we do it. I think that is so cool. Man, listen, I have met some of the herbacitors do some of the coolest things, and man, I gotta put you on my, oh my God, that's
cool. So let me share. So we do have like a center, and it's a call center, and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people call into our call center asking about their plants and what they can do to help keep their plants going, to help keep them alive. And so we have our main garden where I work, but then we also have additional things. We have a butterfly house. We have our Child Nature Reserve. And so my job is to really kind of educate our community, those people who don't ordinarily have that experience or haven't been exposed to a garden, to invite them to the garden in my work around diversity and inclusion and belonging.
Now, herpreneur trip. Like, really? I would love. We gotta get.
You would love it. Oh, people love it. People love it. They really do.
Absolutely. Listen, we gotta get Dr. Nikki in on it. Listen, I think that is amazing. I love it, Michelle. Me too. Like, I'm so serious. I have about, let me see, about 8 plants, 9, 10. My husband is like, stop. He's just like, no more, no more, no more, no more, no more.
Oh,
And
you
so
know,
absolutely, I love them. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. All right, we gonna get into the interview. We gonna get into it. We're not gonna talk about plants, even though I'm tempted. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the interview. I am interviewing my ambassador sister, and I'm excited to interview her. She just told me what she does for her day job, and I just think it's so cool. My face is hurting. I didn't smile so hard. I love it, Michelle. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's see. Can you highlight a specific moment where your faith played a pivotal role in a business decision or in an initiative that you had to push forward? So you talked about getting people involved in diversity and inclusion. And I believe that would definitely be something that you would have to do by faith, because you have to shape the mindsets of the people that you're talking to.
yes. Yes, it does.
Or you can come from your role as a mentor, a coach, as the CEO of your empowerment company, as you lead entrepreneurs to walk by faith. You could come from either way.
Okay, let's come from the coaching and the business sides, because everything that I do, I have to rely on God and the word. And when I started my coaching business, it really was from a church perspective, from a church ministry perspective. And I saw church and ministry in a different way, where God is a God of order. And oftentimes you'll see churches and they'll do things and then they're not growing and they might not have infrastructure in place. And I said, okay, God, I've been giving away all my gifts for free. I need to stop giving away my gifts and my talents for free. And I had to actually just kind of stand on faith and believe that if God gave me all of these gifts and these tools, that I could start this business. And so a lot of what I do is, even in my day job and even in my coaching business, is helping people recognize how to work together and how to do it in a way that is not going to be adversarial or confrontational, because we as human beings, we're always going to come into some type of conflict or disagreement. And
Absolutely.
really, sometimes it's just a matter of maybe talking to someone else and getting a different perspective, and that person coaching you. And so I find myself, I've always coached people and I've always been doing it, but I didn't realize that that's what I was doing. It was just something that I said, okay, God, help me help the situation. And so it's natural, because I also have my law degree.
Oh.
And so it was like, okay, if you're not going to be a judge and you're not going to be, lawyer practicing every day, but you still have those skill sets, you have those tools, those negotiation skills, those or those oratorial skills, those debate skills. And so taking all of that and just trusting God. And so I had to just trust God, that God was going to lead me in the right path and that I was doing that which he had called me to do, and just standing on his words and having faith that what I was doing was truly my purpose. So,
That's
yeah.
right. So let's see. What strategies do you use to inspire and empower the women within your organization that you lead and that you teach to pursue their goals?
I really try to do it through being positive, by sharing positive affirmations, by encouraging my sisters. I mean, my sister network is so big and strong, but I have some amazing women, but we all need each other. And the way that I go about doing that, oh, and I'm glad you said that, because I'm leading an all-girl high school as well. I'm the chair of the board for this all-girl high school. And one of the things that I kept asking God, why do you have me leading this? But I remembered that when I was in high school, I
Mhm.
didn't do clicks, and I don't do them now. But I treated everybody as an individual. And now leading this all girls school, even as an adult, I
Mhm.
still have to exercise those same skills. And I don't do messy. I don't let them do messy. And I always keep God first. I always tell everybody, keep God first. When you keep God first, then you're not going to find yourself in these other situations that might not be pleasant. And so I try to encourage my sisters. I try to make sure that I have information for them if they have questions. And if I don't have the answer, I will research the answer. I will find somebody who can answer the question for them. I will find a referral for them, especially like in the law, right? If there's
Mhm.
something that they have a legal question, I just had somebody ask me a legal question. They ask me all the time. And if it's not my area of expertise, I'm going to find someone who does have that expertise and
Right.
share that and make sure that I connect them. And so I try to encourage my sisters in any of my networks to one, know who they are, be confident in who they are, and then also just trust God and always keep God first. And when you do that, you can't fail. You're not going to fail. It's not going to be always easy, but
Right.
yeah, but with God, you can do anything.
Amen. So Dr. Nikki then came up in here and she started trouble. She want to know if the purse is real. And she
Oh,
talking
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. Because, I told you, I don't do fake. I don't do fake. Because,
look what
it's,
she said, Michelle. She said
it's,
she sent her own photo. That don't count, Dr. Nikki. That is not gonna count. That is not gonna count.
it's funny, though, right? So, you know what? And so let's talk about this purse. So, when I wanted this purse, you know how this is the other thing I try to encourage my sisters to do. When you see something and you want it and you can get it, don't hesitate. You have to be good to yourself sometimes. I'm not
Yes, you
saying
do.
splurge all the time, but
I
I
mean,
saw
you
this.
know. You know.
But I did. I saw this purse and I was like, oh, I love this purse. I said, oh, I'm going to get this purse. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I have these other things to do and I shouldn't be doing this, right? And I let it go. So then I was disappointed because when I went back, it was gone.
Okay.
And so you should not do that because that's when you be like, you beat up on yourself, right? Because I should have got that purse when I saw it.
Right. You have that moment.
Yes. And because it was like, I really wanted that. And I was like, why did you do that? So anyway, I started shopping around and then I found one, but it was a smaller version of it. And I purchased it, but it still wasn't what I wanted. So then eventually the bigger one came back and I got the bigger one. So that's that
So now
purse.
you got one that you can entice us with. Okay, guys. So we are on a mission to get a picture of Dr. Nikki sleeping. And
Yes.
the person who gets this picture gets this purse.
Exactly. Yes.
So it's gonna be on like popcorn in Destin, Florida.
It
Because
is.
everybody is gonna be trying to get the picture of Dr. Nikki. She on here talking about she gonna send in her own photo. No.
No, 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 no.
And Dr. Nikki, we also need to talk about this trip to Michelle's job that we are going to plan for the herpreneurs. Listen.
Well, we supposed to be hosting. I'm hosting the Her Awards in October.
Okay. So that
And we're gonna
listen,
do it. And
field
we're gonna
trip,
do it.
Dr. Nikki. Field
We're gonna
trip.
do we're gonna do it at the garden. So but Dr. Nikki gonna have to come before the end.
So the Her Awards is gonna be at the garden?
Yes.
Ah, you know. Okay. 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 All right.
I'm excited.
I know that's exciting. Listen, we're gonna talk about it. We are gonna talk about it. All right. Let me see. Let me see. What advice do you have for aspiring Christian women who want to make a positive impact in both business and in ministry? This is a good question.
Repeat that for me. Repeat that question for me.
All right. So, what advice do you have for aspiring Christian women who want to make a positive impact in both business and in ministry?
Show up. Show up for yourself, but also show up for God. Because as Christian women, we are ambassadors for God. And when we do what God has called us and ordained for us to do, and when we represent Him, then that is the best thing to do is show up. Not only show up for yourself, but show up for God, show up for your customers, show up for your clients, show up for your family, because this is ministry.
Right.
And service, your business, you're serving, and service in God is, He's a servant God. Christ was a servant leader. And so I would always say, think about and remember how you show up, but show up for yourself, show up for God, and keep Him as your foundation. Learn as much as you can. Make sure that you are operating in excellence. We hear people say that, but what does that really mean? And that means that our business is in order. That means that, like you teach about media and marketing, making sure that you are following through on all the things that are necessary for you to have a successful business, making sure you have a business plan, making sure that you have consulted with legal if you need to, making sure that you're showing up in all of those ways, in all of those areas. But again, I'm always going to say, keep God first. When you show up and you remember whose you are and who you are, then you will be successful.
Amen. I think people feel like they have to be different. When they are walking in the business realm and then walking in ministry, I think sometimes people feel like there's a difference, but there's not. Right?
No.
Because when God made you, He made you to be who you are, and the best version of who you could be in ministry and in business is yourself.
Exactly. And so right now, like I'm doing the business check-ins on Fridays, and those are lessons from the Bible. Those are lessons about operating in character and integrity, and your name being valuable, more valuable than silver or gold. And but think about this, everything in our society is based on a law. But where did the law come from? It came from the Bible. Think about that. The 10 Commandments. Let's start there. Everything in our society is based on a law, but it's the law of God. And people want to take it and they might want to distort it. And, people like to take scriptures, and use them and not use it within the whole context, right? But that's not what we should be doing. We need to really understand that there really isn't a difference. And I would rather do business with someone who knows God and is operating in excellence than someone who doesn't. Because at least I know they have some morals and some values that the rest right? And to be fearful of God and not man. Because see, I fear God more than I fear man. And I don't God coming after me.
Because it is a responsibility, right? It's a gift. It's a responsibility and it's a gift. It's the gift that God gives you when He calls you to do what He calls you to do. And that's what I love about what you just said. Because of your fear of God, right? It causes you to walk upright and do the things that are required of you in decency. Because, like you said in Business Check-In, your name is everything, right? All right, let's see. All right, so many entrepreneurs face setbacks. I mean, we all do, right? Things happen, things come up, we go through things. And so how has your faith helped you navigate through challenges and stay resilient as you work as a as a parallel entrepreneur? because you work a regular job, and these are the things that I hear from entrepreneurs. They work a regular job and they don't have time. They work a regular job and they're unable to manage, running a business and and working. And so, what's your answer to that question?
We all have going to face setbacks in life. And I mean, life is not perfect. And when we face those setbacks, it's so important, again, to have that foundation and to have a foundation in Christ. Because life, I love when Jemima was, life could be lifing.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing. And people who don't have God, they struggle more so, I feel, than those who do. But when you have a setback, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It just means maybe you need to just reset, right? Or reset the stage, restart, but don't look at it as a failure. A setback is a setup for you to come back. And God sometimes does that because maybe we're not doing something that we should be doing, or we're not doing it the way that He might desire for us to do. And His plans, we can have all the plans in the world, but His plan and His purpose are always going to prevail. And when we try to force things because of a setback, we're not going to be successful. So sometimes it's okay to have a setback and sit back, be quiet, reevaluate, right? Reevaluate what's happening and perhaps why it's happening. For example, if you have purchased a lot of merchandise and you're not moving it, then you need to ask yourself why. Right. What are you not doing that would move that merchandise? Or is it the right product for you anyway to be moving? And so you can't be afraid to reevaluate. Sometimes a setback is just time for you to reevaluate the situation, for you to figure out what it is that you need to do next and be okay with that, but not get stuck in that place. That's what I want people. Don't get stuck there. It's just temporary. Setbacks are just temporary. They're not permanent unless you allow it.
Right. And man, listen, that'll preach. Because you definitely can't park yourself in the setback. You have to, like you say, evaluate, what is, what isn't, what could be, what should be, what are we not doing, right? And keep it moving. And so that was really good. That was really good. So the Herpreneur Network, how did you come to know about the Herpreneur Network?
It's really interesting. I keep trying to figure that out. Somebody introduced me to the room because I'm not a Clubhouse. I was not a Clubhouse person.
Don't feel bad, me either.
And I was like, oh, and then of course, some people was preaching against Clubhouse. And I had that too. And I was like, oh, I don't have time for that. I am not going into this room. But somebody invited me to Clubhouse. And then I think somebody else invited me and they thought, oh, you might find this room interesting. Mm-hmm. And that was how I found the weapon room. The weapon room.
Weapon room will get you now.
The weapon room, and to hear Dr. Patricia and Queen Margie. And I was like, wait a minute. This isn't your typical social media type of space. And I'm like, I hear some people praying up in here and encouraging each other. And so that was how I came to the network. And I'm still in it. I'm still in there. I'm like, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll go. No, prayer, 365 days. I'm like, 7 days a week. Who's doing a week? That was how I came to the network.
All right. And so since you've been in the network, meeting your ambassador sisters, just being involved in all the things that come with being a part of the network, how do you feel like the network is helping you and impacting your life?
Oh, it is helping me tremendously because it is provoking me. And when we use that word, literally, it is really encouraging me to stay focused on my business. It is encouraging me to actually take the steps that I need to, because I have paid money to coaches. Let me just say that. I've had paid money to coaches, but it wasn't what I needed. They weren't helping me solve my problem. And I felt like I was doing more of the work. And I wasn't getting the results. And I'm like, there's something off about this. But the network, and so what I loved about Dr. Nikki and being in the network, and even with you, when you start talking about, well, what are you doing? You know, who do people know who you are, and on your social media, and what are you doing with your social media, and how are you using it? And it was like, wait a minute, these people weren't telling me this, and I've been paying them a lot of money, right? And that wasn't okay. And so what I found about the network is that there are people in the network who have what I need. They have resources that I need. They have knowledge, and they didn't mind sharing that knowledge. That's how the network has really helped me. And it encourages me, and it keeps me motivated, and it keeps me focused. And that's what I love about the network. Even the Life Christian College, right? And you would say, oh, Michelle, why would you, go and do the Life Christian College? Well, do I need a public speaking certification? No, I've been doing public speaking since I was a little girl. I spoke when the Pope came and helped arrange when he came. I've been doing public speaking from, the lectern, all these things. But it was like, you know what? As a business owner, as someone who is a leader, you should always be teachable. And I love knowledge. I am that person. I want to always be learning. There's something out there that if God wants me to have it, I want everything that God has for me that has my name on it. And that's what I love about the networks. So from the Life Christian College to the women in the network that have the skill sets, that are sharing that knowledge and encouraging each other. That's what I love about the network.
The resources for me. I know that's right, Queen Angela.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's so cool, because literally everything that we need, we can find it in the network. So Dr. Nikki has been cutting up in the comments. She said she's giving away a 10-week program for those who are on my team.
For what? A 10-week program?
Listen. And then she said, Team Michelle versus Team Dr. Nikki. LOL. So I don't know, Dr. Nikki, do I want the 10-week course, or do I want the bag? Is that what you're saying? Are we going for the bag? Or are we going for the course?
That brand name bag is probably worth more than that 10-week course. And a little more stylish. If you want to be stylish for the retreat,
Michelle is coming out with the shade. Hey. Oh my goodness. It is on in these hair parts. I don't want no parts. Listen, I don't want no parts. That's right, Deanna. I don't want no parts. I'm gonna stay neutral.
We love her, but we're gonna have so much fun. And again, I just enjoy being a blessing, to my sisters and to others. When we sow into others, God is gonna sow into us, and that's what we're here for. And we're supposed to pay it forward. And so at this stage in my life, that's where I'm about.
So tell us about the event that's coming up in October.
So October 19th is going to be the Her Awards, and we are going to be in St. Louis, Missouri. And it is going to be at the world-renowned Missouri Botanical Garden. And I'm so excited to be recognizing sisters in St. Louis, and to have my herpreneur sisters come to St. Louis and just see what it's like who haven't been here.
Man. Okay, so tell us about the Her Awards.
So the Her Awards are designed to recognize women in the community who are doing some outstanding things. But the other thing that I really like about it is we have a lot of events and a lot of organizations here. And hey, Grandpa. And the thing is, the same people always get recognized, right? There are certain people who always are being on someone's program and this, that, and the other. And it kind of feels like if you're not in the clique or, in the know, but there are people out here who are doing some amazing things that are giving back to the community. And I love some of the categories, in beauty to health to the legends and icons and medical, I mean, politicians. And there are just some people, everyday people who are serving and serving our community in different ways. And so that's what I really like about it, is the opportunity to recognize women who are known, but they might not necessarily be, quote, at that high organizational level, but they're still giving back to the community and they are bringing people with them. So that's what I like about it.
All right. So what else do you got going on? What's next for you?
What's next for me? I am taking part in Dr. Nikki's Overcomer Woman 2.0. So
anthology. Okay. Author.
I love that. I love that. I also am taking part in Apostle Alicia's our testimonies, our testimonies.
Okay.
And I also have actually on my website, which I started, was my own leadership checklist. It's just a very simple checklist, and it's free.
Give me your website.
The website is aimempowerment.org. It's AMMEMPOWERMENT.org. And I also have an e-journal, and it's called Keys to Success in Leadership. It's a working journal. And I'm going empowerment. It's POWERMENT. And so I'm excited about that, to be able to really start delving into the leadership more specifically, since I really have been doing leadership coaching literally almost all of my career. And I'm just so excited to be able to share the checklist, but then also the e-journal, the working journal. And what I love about the e-journal is that there's space in there for you to actually meditate, think about things. And as I go through it, just have people come up with some key areas and things that they can work on and improve.
All right, let's see if I got it right this time. If not, then
you're good. That's perfect.
Awesome. All right, guys. So here we go. AimEmpowerment.org is where you can get your leadership checklist.
You can. I'm so excited. And who helped me with it? Somebody in the network.
Listen, everything you need is in the network. I love it. And so you guys know us. We are Jesus plus business plus ministry equal a herpreneur. Yes.
That's right.
That's how we do around these here parts. And I absolutely love it. It's been amazing, Michelle, getting to know you and digging into your world. I am looking forward to exploring October the 19th so that I could come hang out with you in St. Louis. But I think this is absolutely amazing what you do and how you serve and how you contribute because the world needs, strong leaders, and I think it's important, guys, for those of us that are listening and watching in, for us to understand that we need help. We need help in a lot of areas, right? And leadership is one of those things that you're not born with. It's something that you have to learn and you have to practice at. And you have to really develop your leadership skills, right? Some people are born to lead, but they still have to learn how to lead in whatever area of business or ministry or movement that they are a part of. And so I love it, Michelle, how you position yourself to be able to serve leaders and to pour into them and empower them to be great leaders. And so I absolutely love that. So any final words, any encouragement, motivation that you want to leave with our viewers? Let's take a second and let us know where you are watching from. I am in Texas and Michelle is in St. Louis.
St. Louis, Missouri.
All right. So where are you guys watching from? Also, if the herpreneurs are in the building, represent for the herpreneurs, represent for the Herpreneur Network. If our herpreneurs are here, if you are here, represent. Come on, Michelle. Empower us, inspire us. Give us your final thoughts on tonight.
Well, my final thoughts on this evening are to always trust and love God, to do everything that you do it to the fullest potential that God is giving you. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Allow people in your space, in your circle, who really do love you and have good intentions for you and your purpose. And just operate and exercise discernment while you're doing that. And it's just so important, right? Because everybody may not always be able to do that. And always be an encourager to others. Always have something positive to share. Always try to frame whatever the situation is in a way that someone can come away from that feeling like they can do it, feeling like I can do this. I have the ability, I have the strength. And as long as I have God, I can do this. And so I just want everybody to just be the best you that God has created and designed you to be. And don't let anybody tell you different.
Period. I love it. So we got Mississippi in the building. We got Hot Lancer in the building. And the Herpreneur Network is in the house.
Awesome.
I love it. So I have had a really good time with you on tonight, sis. And I'm excited about all the things that you are doing. I'm excited that I can call you my sister.
Oh yeah, I love my herpreneur sisters. They really are.
Thank you. I thank you for your support. Listen, y'all, she got her Sassy flat iron and she loves it.
I sure do. Am I good? Oh my
God. So this is what I love about the network, guys. We support one another. We are there for one another. Even in the good times and in the toughest of times, we are our sisters' keepers. And I absolutely love that about the network. And so thank you, Michelle, for pouring into us. Come on, let's give Michelle her flowers. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle, for pouring with us, sharing with us a little bit of you and what you do and how you serve, because you are definitely a servant with a true servant's heart. And so we appreciate you and we thank you. All right, Master Coach Angela, there we go. All right, you getting your flowers. Yeah. I love
it. Thank you.
Did she send a gift? I don't know. It didn't show up. But nevertheless, we appreciate you. We thank you. And we're going to say good night. All right. That was so much fun getting to know my sister Michelle a little bit more. I learned something about her that I did not know on tonight. And that's what I absolutely love about being the host of the Her Talks Talk Show, guys. I get to know the innermost parts of some of my sisters. And I think it's absolutely amazing. And so, guys, the Herpreneur Network is an international network for Christian women in business and in ministry. And we believe in fixing crowns and maintaining them. I gotta get me a crown for the talk show. Yes. Scooch my crown. We believe in fixing crowns and maintaining them. And we believe that collaboration trumps competition. And man, we have come to collaborate, create, and celebrate with one another as we move through this thing called life, right? And business, guys. And so we invite you to check out the website. Listen, theherpreneurnetwork.com. It is an interactive website. Everything you need to see or know about the network is on the website. And we welcome you to check it out. Again, we will be in Destin, Florida in September. Don't forget the business boot camp is coming up in October, as well as the Her Awards in St. Louis. Okay. I'm excited, guys. And so the herpreneurs are definitely on a move. Make sure that you tap in to stay abreast of all things her. Join the network. Now is the best time, the greatest time to join the network. It is so easy to join. Make sure that you head to the website, click on membership, and see the options that are there and that are available for you to come and connect with us. Listen, join us in the Herpreneur Network. I absolutely love it. And again, shout out to our servant leader, Dr. Nikki Ziegler, who is the founder of this amazing network. To every tier of leadership that is in the network, we salute you as you do what you do to help to build the networks to grow. And again, I am Torri Hammond, your Her Talks Talk Show host. I am the regional director for the West Coast, and I am an Elite Ambassador, and I am your Her Talks Talk Show host. So excited to bring you one of my herpreneur sisters on tonight, and we will be back soon so that I can continue to keep sharing all this goodness that the network has to offer. And so until next time, listen, just be classy, just be sassy, just be you. Why? Because no one can do you quite like you do. Good night, guys. See you soon. Bye.